Hi there, I'm Jesse Dom, a practicing BIM manager teaching you Revit for free. Let's dive in. Today we're talking parameters. Let's start with an empty project using the architectural template. Everything in Revit is a family. Now, anything from a 2D component to a 3D component to a roof or a floor or a wall, those three are called system families. A view is even considered a family. Now, every family has parameters. Those parameters are either a type parameter or an instance parameter. While a type parameter applies to the type of thing that it is, an instance parameter applies to the individual, I don't want to say instance again, but instance, that version of that component that exists in your project. Now, I'll show you this by drawing a few walls. I'll draw a piece of wall here, select this one, use the copy tool, click once, hold shift so I keep going in a nice straight line, and place a couple of these out. I'll jump to a 3D view to show you what's going on here. I've got 4 different pieces of wall, and right now they all have the same information, but everything can have its own information. So if I want to change the single instance, I can change this information that shows up in the Properties panel. Now the Properties panel is where you're going to find all of the different instance parameters. If I click on this wall, all of these things here apply to specifically this piece of wall. So I can change the unconnected height to 3000. As soon as I move my mouse outside of the Properties panel, it's going to accept whatever anything that I've typed in. See? With this one, I will change the space constraint to level 1. And you can see the whole thing moved up, and, well, you get the point. Now, if I click on one of these walls, I can edit the type of this wall. This wall type has a name right now. It's a basic wall, but then it's also this specific string of characters, which implies what it's actually made out of. If I click Edit Structure, I can change any one of these things. And just for an example, I'll just add a 0 to this to make it really thick. I'll hit OK, and see how it applied to every single type? That's because this type is now this new version of its shape. If I edit type and I duplicated that and I change this to an appropriate name, hit OK, went back, and oh boy, where did it go? If I select the other type that it used to be and edit this one, change this back, and click OK, and OK, it's going to change all of these. Now if I want this individual instance to be that different type, I can click on that, and now it's this type. So type can change a whole bunch of things, while instance applies to that specific thing. I'll get into a lot more detail with using our custom type and instance parameters when it comes to 2D families or 3D families. The next video will be explaining how 2D families are created and why we use different things. Now you know how to get notifications, so I'm not going to bore you with that. And if this brought you value, then please share it somewhere. That would help me a lot. Thank you. Have a good one.